I have. Let's see if I can.
All right, I
Right,
hit the
you
go
can
live
see
button.
Okay.
all of those. Those are all lit candles right there.
I love that.
Cool. I'll shut up now.
Hopefully she's
no,
not
you're
watching.
fine.
But I bought my sister a Carlette candle for a housewarming gift.
I bought Sam a Carlette candle.
I love that. Dude,
Oh,
the one I
look at my
got
new little
smells
boy.
so good. Oh, okay, I love that sticker. I love that sticker.
He's so cute.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
It
Etsy?
was a drop-in gift from Etsy. What did I buy? Oh, I bought an Asterion, like car scent thing.
Ooh. I want that.
I'll send you the Etsy link for
Yeah,
the
thank you.
car scent.
I'm ready now. It's all done.
You're ready. I think I want to go grab a glass of wine. I only have stupid white wine. But I'm gonna go get a wine. Also, I've been such a good girl. This is 128 ounces. It's bigger than my head.
Yeah.
It's vodka.
As it should be. I guess I could bring Twitch up to actually see stuff happening. I'm really excited. I already know just going into this that this is going to be a long episode. So bear with us because we have to gush about a certain someone. Oh shoot. I think my sister is watching the stream. I haven't opened it yet, but she sent me a Snapchat saying she would watch it. So I hope I didn't ruin her surprise. Oh well. Okay. Anyway, you have obviously the perfect background for this. I don't forget that you're a Witcher nerd and that you have the Witcher Lorecast. I just forget how many things are displayed behind you, and it looks so good. I'm jealous. Someday I'll have a cute nerdy.
I can't. It doesn't. I can't. I don't have a good spot for it, so I can't display it as well. But I even have that. That's the new thing, which
Wait,
is
bring it. Bring it.
Muffiny is here, by the way.
Did you hear what I said I got you? Oh.
Songbird and thing that Turbo sent me. So, but I just don't have a good spot for it.
I love it. I'm still waiting on my Garrus Vicarian statue that I pre-ordered literally last year, and it's still not set to be shipped until like November. So thanks, Dark Horse. Someday I'll have a Garrus statue. I have his pop figure, and I've had his pop figure for like 10 years, but yeah, I've had him since I was in the Navy. I don't even remember. I bought him when I was in Hawaii, which would have been 2012, 20 to 2016, but it was when I lived in that one apartment, so probably 2013. I don't know. And Think Geek was still a thing. That's where I got him from. Anyway, I'm ready now. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I need to open the script. It's fine. I'm ready enough.
Do we need to go through the
Close
checklist?
enough.
Pre-pod checklist. Script
I
up.
can't go through the checklist if I don't have the script up with the checklist on it.
Audio clips are in order. Water and wine. Discord background. D&D mode. And Audacity is recording. Am I in D&D mode? That's a good question. I am! Go me! Alright. Hair down.
Yeah, you got to let those luscious locks free for this episode.
My god, my hair's getting long. Ooh, whose hair is longer, mine or Toastie's?
Probably Toastie's because he's just blessed
No,
with
he just
hair.
cut his hair recently. You're allowed to unmute. We're still in pre-show.
I trimmed it a little bit.
It's gorgeous. Okay, so like, I think yours is longer actually, Jen. Although proportionately, because Toastie's so tall, I feel like that means his is longer, even if it falls a little shorter on his body. His body's taller.
Toastie's only
So maybe
like
it's about
3
the
inches
same.
taller than me.
I also have a big head.
Hey, 3 inches
I don't know.
matters.
3 inches does matter. You're right. My bad.
I can't wait to hug you in person, Toastie.
Bold of you
Going
to
to
assume
happen.
I'm going to hug you.
Yeah, you know what? It is bold, but I think I'll win you over after tonight.
That's a real question. We'll find out. We'll find out if I'll have a hidden blade in my hand the moment I hug Bravado real life. We'll see.
It better be silver, bitch. Just hiss and wither away. Okay, anyway, let's do a podcast.
I can't have my partner stab my wife. Like, that just doesn't work.
I mean, she just said she'll wither away, which means that she's a monster. So I have to do my job.
But you're also a monster fucker, so you could love her instead.
Let's not put any weird connotations on that. Hey, remember that one episode slip up that happened? Let's not have that happen with a different person.
Okay.
So anyway, Yennefer of Vengerberg.
Hey, all right. You know what? Let's go. Hold on. Are you talking about when Mormon said he wanted to fuck me and not Yen?
No, I'm talking about when you accidentally implied that we were having an affair on your
Oh.
show. The one that had everyone in the call like the one that I have a cloudy emote for.
Yep, okay. Recentered, refocused. The microphone is not in the right place. Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship, the podcast where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. I'm Genesis, the girl who has had a roller coaster of a day, complete and total shitstorm in the morning, and then pure joy in the afternoon. My life, not just this podcast, is the beautiful chaos.
And I'm Vervada, the girl who's wondering if her co-host wife is okay. Are you okay?
So I'm pretty sure that this is like worldwide news at this point, but there was an outage in Microsoft that caused a literal shitstorm across the world on anything computer system related. And my job, my hotel, was hugely affected by this. It was insanity.
I'm sorry. That was not even where my mind went, but at least it was just that. I mean, I don't know. That sounds like it sucks. Unfortunately for me, my job relies heavily on Microsoft Outlook and Teams, which was unaffected. So, yay.
Yeah.
Normal ass work day for me.
Nope, it was not. But then my pure joy, and I'm so, so happy to announce this. We got our wheelchair van. So now I can take my kid wherever the fuck I want to go, whenever we want to go. So it was just a simple run out to Dollar Tree to go buy some cute little fun toys. But that was what she used to do with my mom every Friday was go to Dollar Tree and pick out a new little toy. So we got to do that today. So all of the shit from the morning just to watch her smile and pick out a new toy from Dollar Tree that we haven't been able to do in 2 years was pretty damn awesome.
Thank goodness. Because my mind, when you said shitstorm, I thought it was about your daughter. I'm glad the happy part of the day was about your daughter. So that's
Yes.
good. And I know how long you've been waiting for that van. So
Yeah.
thank goodness that's happened finally. Isn't this around her birthday? Or is it? No, it was last month.
For what? The
Her
anniversary
birthday.
of her surgery? No, her anniversary of her surgery was
Mhm.
July 1st.
Oh, I remember.
Her
That was
birthday is
June
in
30th.
September. Her birthday's not until September. You guys are almost twins.
Oh, man, I know so many September babies. That's awesome. Anyway, I think it's September 16th, I think is like the most popular birthday. Anyway, none of that matters right now about birthdays, I guess. Sorry, we tangented really hard really soon. It's time to get into what's probably going to be a very long episode because we have a lot to say and there's a lot worth saying.
And if you're new here, what did I say? Beautiful chaos. But you should also know that our podcast centers on character and romance analysis and doesn't shy away from exploring the fun of fucking.
Or from the deep emotional connections built between two or more characters using specific in-game dialogue. So if you want to stay spoiler free, then this is not the podcast for you.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
Thanks for the spoiler alert, N7. And just like with all of our previous episodes, we'll assume that you have some background knowledge of the game and character in question, but we will be providing context for those of you who may be unfamiliar.
Today we are still on the continent and it's still chaos. The scene? Temeria, 1272. A battle rages between Nilfgaardian and northern troops, tale as old as time. A lone figure, cloaked and on horseback, races through that fighting. The ground swallows up some of the warriors who happen to be a little too close. She's hunting something, and she needs to find it fast. She's also being tracked herself, and not just by the wild hunt. There are two witchers following her trail. Tonight, we finally get to dive into one of the most infamous video game romances, and one of our favorites, I think. We're here to talk about the romance between Geralt of Rivia and Yennefer of Vengerberg from The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt.
That brawl, we didn't start it.
Excuses, excuses. You've not changed a bit.
Yen? How?
I received a report about a witcher who'd appeared in White Orchard. I knew it was you, looking for me. I might have waited until you found me, but... well, you know me. Patience has never been my strong suit. It's... good to see you, Geralt. I'd even embrace you. Were you not covered in blood?
Sorry. Wasn't expecting to see you. To be honest, this isn't at all how I imagined we'd meet.
How did you imagine it?
You didn't imagine you'd have a Nilfgaardian escort.
He imagined they'd be naked on the back of a taxidermied unicorn. But I think it's so funny in this scene. If you guys have never watched this or played this game, like he literally sniffs the air like a dog when she first shows up. Because, you know, if you know anything about The Witcher, it's lilac and gooseberries. That's what Yennefer is supposed to smell like. And I also love how they get swept up in their own little flirty world. And Vesemir's like, hello, guys, we've got shit to do. As usual.
You threw me off because you didn't say on the continent, and the continent is supposed to be my opener line. So yes.
Sorry.
So yes, Vesemir has to bring them back down to Earth. Or at least back down to the continent. And the continent certainly needs their undivided attention right now. Despite Yennefer being a huge character in the book series, we haven't seen her in the first two games. But Geralt's past entanglements with her from the book series are canon for the third game, namely the events of The Last Wish, where Geralt used a wish from a djinn to bind their lives together for always and forever. There is a lot of backstory that we simply cannot cover in this episode, but please feel free to check out the Witcher Lorecast for all that fun stuff. Yennefer is a powerful sorceress, not with the Lodge of Sorceresses, though. That's Triss's thing. See, the Lodge is mainly a political force, and they sought to use Siri to advance their agenda. You'll quickly discover that the ashen-haired, interdimensional, portal-wielding, elder-blooded surprise daughter of Geralt and Yennefer is the key to everyone's plans in The Witcher 3.
Yeah, Siri's got a lot going on. And as someone who only ever played The Witcher 3, when I first played it, it was not at all apparent to me what the hell was going on. Like, this middle-aged dude has a surprise daughter and a fated wife out there somewhere. And then there's like this redhead lady who also loved me when I had amnesia, and the Wild Hunt either has kidnapped or wants to kidnap my wife and my daughter, or both of them, one of them. Oh, and Ciri is actually the daughter of Emirvar Emrys, aka Icarus before his wings melted. Like, there's just so many things tied to Ciri. Oh, and then also fun fact about Emir, the Emperor of Nilfgaard. He's voiced by Charles Dance, who was Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones. So, like, Charles Dance, you're so good at playing cruel and brilliant leaders. But anyway, I love that. Back to Yennefer though. Essentially, between the second and the third games, Geralt gets his memory back. That's good. And he starts trying to find Yennefer. The last time he saw her, they were living in peace, drinking apple juice and having sex on a taxidermied unicorn. You're going to hear that a lot on Malice Island. And then Yen was kidnapped by the Wild Hunt to try and lure Ciri out, because once again, everybody wants Ciri.
It's kind of hard to know for certain due to inconsistencies or different interpretations of the timeline, but it's anywhere from 5 to 7 years since they were all together living happily. In that time, Yennefer was pulled by the hunt through different worlds and areas of the continent, like Sodden and Sintra and Ongren. Geralt pursued them for over a year trying to rescue Yen, and he finally confronted the hunt at the Hanged Man's Tree in Nilfgaard on the winter solstice of 2070. The battle reached a stalemate, and Eredin, the king of the Wild Hunt, agreed to take Geralt in exchange for Yen, considering both equal bait for Ciri. But Yen wasn't done being held captive. She was in prison until Emir von Emrys, Emperor of Nilfgaard and King of the Douchebags, granted her release in exchange for helping him locate Ciri too. His daughter by blood, not by law of surprise. So do you have all of that? Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon of Sintra is the blooded daughter of Emir von Emrys and Princess Pavetta, granddaughter of Queen Calanthe. She is Geralt's daughter by law of surprise and was pretty much adopted by Yen. Triss is like her big sister, and Vesemir is the doting granddad who teaches his girl how to hunt. Ciri has a big family, both by blood and by choice.
Yeah, sounds great. Nice little happy upbringing. But okay, so Yen's trying to find Ciri, right? She of course immediately takes up the King of the Douchebags on his offer. He's a shit starter. Nilfgaard is like that cough that just won't go away after you've been sick. But they're also rich from their many incursions into other lands. Yay, colonialism. So Yen thinks the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and their vast resources will help her find Ciri fast. She focused on finding Ciri, trusting that Geralt could save himself. Some people might whine and complain, oh, Yen, she's such a bitch. Geralt tried to find her when she was captured. Why didn't she return the favor? Well, Yen is a mother. Her priority is to find her daughter, and as we well know, Geralt is more than capable of handling himself. At the start of the third game, we see that the hunt has caught wind of Yen's intense magical search for Ciri and is now after her again. Why kidnap one parent when you can simply kidnap both? Too bad for the hunt. Both Geralt and Yen are badass apart, but together, unstoppable. And while Geralt isn't exactly happy Yen's recent dealings with Nilfgaard has been a thing, he can't deny the practicality of Yen's decision to work with them, or really use them.
Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
So they're our agents now? My, you've clearly settled in quick.
Geralt, don't twist my words. I know who Emir is. He started this war and its bloodshed. He had my friends killed. But I haven't any other choice. So please, let's not belabor the pros and cons and instead focus on finding Ciri. All right?
Right. Emir said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emir's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt, before the Wild Hunt does.
So she directs Geralt to search Velen and Novigrad for Ciri while she goes to Skellige. In between now and when we meet up with Yen and Skellige, this is where Geralt and Triss reunite in Novigrad, and all that stuff happens with the mages, etc., etc. Like, there is a bunch of crazy shit going on right now. Unfortunately for Trissmancers, though, she is literally a side chick if you romance her. Like, side quest booty. Once her quest is done, we are pretty much done with her. Jinwish aside, the game really wants you to romance Yennefer. She is inextricably tied to the main quest of finding Ciri and defeating the Wild Hunt. There for so many quests and steps along the way. So when we see Yen again in Skellige, it's at King Bran's funeral. It's sad, but not too sad, as Skellige is like a great combination of Scottish and ancient Norse cultures, so there's a lot of drinking, axe throwing, and merrymaking.
I can see you chose your own outfit. You know, of course, that together we look about as good as lace frills on a battle axe.
Everyone's got their style. Don't like funerals. Don't like feasts.
I know. You also dislike underdone meat and being teleported. But sometimes we must overcome our disgusts and prevail.
We should mingle before they all get drunk. There'll be no talking to anyone then.
Good thinking. I don't know what Krach wants, but when we meet with him, we should have clear minds.
I'm not gonna drink. Why dull my senses when I'm in such pleasant company?
Do you plan to compliment me all evening?
I plan to tell you what I think.
I love this. Okay, so her little smile at the end after Geralt says, I plan to tell you what I think, is so cute and like shy. Just this so cute. Like, this is the kind of thing that really adds to a romance, in my opinion. This is a main quest. This is something all players must do in pursuit of Ciri, but it's peppered with affectionate banter between these two. Romance in games should never just be a side quest. It should color the whole narrative in a warm, rosy hue. We should have regular moments where we giggle and kick our feet, figuratively speaking. During the wake, Yen and Geralt sneak around looking to steal the one-time use Mask of Ouroboros, which allows the wearer to see past events in the immediate area. Wow, I can't talk today. Rip all of the fantasy names I'm going to mispronounce. That mask would certainly come in handy in tracking Ciri, but despite the pressing matters at hand, like needing to speak to Krach, Yen and Geralt can't seem to keep their hands off each other.
Wait,
For what?
we must talk to Krach.
Why? Think he misses us? Because I missed you. Oh no.
I missed you too.
When are you gonna finally burn this piece of junk?
My heart couldn't take it. So many memories. Damn it, Geralt. Do you have any idea how much they cost?
Come here. We gotta hurry. Krach's waiting.
Is that so?
Yen, let go of the mane.
I know you. I let go, you throw us off. Don't even try. My, oh my.
Missed you.
I missed you too.
That clip was already long, but I had to cut out almost a full minute because of how steamy and in-depth this scene is. So in the quiet moments, in between the I miss yous, is a very passionate and love-filled scene. Our boy misses his woman, and when she has to undress in order to fix a rip in her dress, he takes full advantage and strips down as well. I'm fully aware that this is very much a me thing, but I love seeing the show of strength that it takes to grab a woman by her ass and lift her straight into the air. Geralt, Broshep, the Iron Bull, Astarion, and countless more have all done this, and I find it so attractive. Geralt places Yen on top of a dresser, and that's when she tells him to wait, and we get the opening of this dialogue clip. Magic continues to crackle between them as Yen looks over and spots her favorite bedroom accessory, the unicorn. Geralt responds with an "oh no." But we know that he's willing to play and give everything to Yen that she wants. Yen uses magic to spirit away her top, and her glorious chest is on full display. And then Geralt, in a move of pure hedonism, bends down to her waist and bites her lace and splits it in half. In the clip, Yen is not saying that the unicorn is expensive, but the cute little matching bra and panties set that our favorite witch fucker just decided to ruin is expensive. On the back of a unicorn, Geralt facing the front, and Yennefer being able to lean back and use that mane as a support. Together, they ride and ride and ride. Now, I love this scene, but I do have some critiques. In order to have sex on horseback between a man and a woman, leverage is key. With Geralt being the one sitting on the horse like he would as if he were riding in a saddle, is the least productive. Either do it with a saddle so you can have your feet in the stirrups, Or he should be the one on his back, so Yen can ride in true cowgirl fashion, or even reverse cowgirl for that matter. But in order for the scene as is to work, Geralt has to bend his knees and use the top of his feet as leverage on the unicorn's hindquarters. Our man may be the White Wolf, Geralt, Roger, Eric, Duhat Belgard of Rivia. But even he is going to cramp up his legs going for more than just a few minutes like that.
I don't know how to transition into what I'm supposed to say next after that. Just fair warning, listener, there's another one coming up too, because there's a lot of sex scenes in The Witcher 3 if you romance Yennefer. Once again, the game wants you to romance her, and they reward you for that. If this kind of thing is what you deem a reward, which most people probably do. I don't know. Anyway, so fast forwarding through some things, we get to where Yennefer uses the mask that they found. I don't actually know. Was it before or after the unicorn sex at the wake? But they found it in the castle or the keep or whatever they call it in Skellige. So they got the mask. She goes to use it despite being warned that it would cause a cataclysmic event if it was used, causes a storm. But it does reveal where Avalok, the elven mage who has trained Ciri, fled through a portal with Ciri. So they're like, oh, we're on the right path. They move on to Hindersfjall, I think, because the Wild Hunt was recently seen there, and they discover that a dude named Craven, real trustworthy, was hanging around with Ciri right before the Wild Hunt attacked the village. They find Craven's corpse, rip Craven, and guess what Yen does? Necromancy. Yeah, let's talk to the dead guy, whose real name turns out to be Skjold, thankfully. So, not Craven. But they talk to him. The only downside is this body is laying inside a sacred garden, and necromancy requires a lot of power.
Oof. Putrefaction set in. But the vocal cords are intact. We might still get something out of him.
Doesn't look like the talkative type.
Anyone can be made to talk. Even a corpse. One must simply know how.
Thought necromancy was strictly forbidden.
So is premarital sex. But I'm not about to be bothered by such foolishness.
Black magic's no joke. Casting those spells never ends well. Never.
I don't like it any more than you do, believe me. But the thought that Ciri is in danger? I like that even less.
I understand. Still doesn't give us the right to...
Geralt, please. This is not the time to debate ethics.
Need any ingredients for the spell?
The blood of a newborn, a virgin's tongue, and the eye of a newt.
Mind trying again without the sarcasm?
I don't need a thing. I'm a sorceress, not a village herbalist. All I need is energy. A great deal of energy. We're very lucky this place is saturated with magic.
It's also considered sacred. Priestesses will be furious if you use the garden's power to revive a corpse.
Geralt, you're getting on my nerves. I offer you solutions, you try to poke holes in them.
I'm not poking holes. Just thinking about the consequences. How about you? Given them any thought?
No. Geralt, I'll say it again. We're short on time. Ciri is short on time. Fine. You busy yourself pouting. I'll handle the rest.
I love that they infuse humor into this dark task. The blood of a newborn? Well, Geralt might have some of that from the botchling. And the Eye of Newt is the most stereotypical witchcraft item. It legit made me laugh when I heard it. Then the not-so-subtle dig at Kira Metz with the village herbalist line. Oh, Yenna, you have my heart. On the other hand, this is not the most shining moment for Yennefer. Of course they need to find Ciri, but at what cost? Any that Yen deems appropriate. but it's clear that her cost-benefit analysis skill is heavily skewed. But also, a mama is going to do whatever it takes to see her child safe. Yen is a rare example of the Byronic hero trope. These are usually men or male characters. She has all the hallmarks of such a character, though. Complex and contradictory, brooding and intense personality, a troubled past, rebellious and independent, yet hidden emotional depth and vulnerability to a select few. This scene, the necromancy scene, is probably the biggest example of the negative aspects of her character. Yennefer's choice to perform necromancy, a forbidden and dangerous art, highlights her willingness to go to extreme lengths. This act underscores her rebellion against norms and her readiness to embrace dark means for whatever she believes is a just cause.
This is the main reason why Yen is such a controversial character. Her brutal efficiency, her confidence, her intelligence, her political maneuvering and manipulations. If she were a man, she would be hailed as a king. She would basically be the magical version of Emir var Emrys, right? But instead she's a bitch. Or at least the Tristmancers seem to think so. However, through the romance, her positive aspects are brilliantly highlighted. Straight away in the game, there is an immediate sense of history and an unresolved tension between Yennefer and Geralt. Their initial interactions are professional but tinged with personal history. Her vulnerability is often hidden beneath her stoic facade, but it surfaces in moments of intimacy and crisis, like her scenes with Geralt. Her complex relationship with Geralt is a central element of her character. It's marked by passion, conflict, and deep mutual understanding. The love they share is tumultuous and intense, reflecting the Byronic hero's tendency towards passionate and often destructive relationships. Despite her strong exterior, Yennefer is capable of deep emotional connections, particularly with Geralt and Ciri.
Yennefer's relationship with Ciri adds another layer of complexity. She is fiercely protective and motherly towards Ciri, showcasing her capacity for deep care and loyalty. However, her methods of protecting Ciri are often pragmatic and harsh, emphasizing her complex moral stance. Don't mess with Mama Wolf. Her actions can be ruthless, yet they often stem from a place of profound care, love, and loyalty. In fact, they are often tinged with self-destructive tendencies. She pushes herself to the breaking point many times in her seemingly endless pursuit of Ciri. But there is something else Yen is after, and this is part of a quest called The Last Wish that is integral to furthering the romance between Geralt and Yen. Their fates might have been tied together by a djinn, but it's time to tease the magic apart and find out if they truly love each other. But before we dive into all that, we need to take a mid-break so we can hear from our sponsors of the show, listen to some fun facts, and thank our lovely, lovely patrons. Mid-break dance. Oh gosh, Yen and Geralt have begrudgingly danced many, many times together. Yen, a Y dance. I
I
don't
was going to say
know.
sorceress salsa.
Ooh, or samba,
Mm-hmm.
or stripper pole. That's a dance, right? Stripping? Yeah, we'll call that
Pole
one.
dancing.
Pole dancing's a P though.
Oh,
But
okay.
stripping is an S. But why am I thinking S? It's Y or G.
Because
Got it. Okay.
sorceress.
Right. Okay. Oh. All right. Let's get into our fun facts. Yennefer is voiced by Denise Goff, who is primarily a film actor, but has provided voice work for a number of games, including Mass Effect Andromeda, where she is the lead Angaran scientist Kira Dolls. Kieran Dolls. Denise was also in Divinity Dragon Commander, Dragon Quest Heroes, and Star Wars Battlefront.
Yuri Cat says in chat, Gangnam Style for G.
Geralt doing
Gangnam
Gangnam Style? No. That.
It'd be hilarious. Okay,
It would
wait.
be.
Speaking of Star Wars, this is my next fact. I love it. It's actually not my fact. I just needed to insert this. Okay. So speaking of Star Wars, Denise Goff is also Deidre Miro in Andor. Oh, the only time I've ever loved someone from the Empire in a Star Wars story. She is a boss ass bitch who can do way better than Cyril Karn. Okay, season 2 Andor. Don't you dare. Anyway, back to actual Yennefer facts. You might know that she is infertile. That's a big part of her character. The fact she can't have children in the books, the show, the games. But reason for that is actually due to her being a sorceress. Like witchers, it's a consequence of magical use in this universe, according to the Wikipedia. So sorry if that's wrong. Tell the nerds who update that.
I swear when V gets really animated about stuff, her internet glitches. But it's okay.
Oh,
She's
great.
recording on her own, so it makes it so that way I can just add her audio. And you won't be glitchy.
Fun. Sorry.
And we mentioned this in a prior Witcher episode, but Yennefer was specifically created by Andrzej Sapkowski to subvert the common tropes of many female characters in fantasy, such as the damsel in distress, or the only a source of motivation for a male protagonist, or just window decoration. Yen stands on her own as a fully formed character.
She sure does. Okay, so actually I have 2 facts this next one. This one's really fast. So when Yen and Geralt first met in the books and he needed her help with the djinn, so he got her to agree to help him by bringing her apple juice, which fair. I would do a lot for a glass of Martinelli's. But earlier in the episode, we played a clip. This is one more random fact I wanted to insert because Jen asked in the chat what haruspicy is. And I know because I'm a nerd, it is the magical act of finding out something like an answer to a question by using the entrails of a sacrificed animal. So you can imagine that Yen was digging through the guts of goats and shit to try and find out where Ciri is. That's how desperate she was.
So why did she need apple juice for goat entrails?
Oh, that was unrelated. Like, no, that's
Oh,
unrelated. The apple juice
okay.
fact, I just thought it was cute. That was going to be my last fact, but then you asked what haruspicy was, and I was like, I know. So I wanted to like insert that. But the last fact about apple juice, apparently that was in the book. My husband read the book. I did not read The Last Wish, but I guess he brought Yen apple juice for her help to be like buttering her up to get her help to get the djinn,
Okay.
the one that bound them together. I just thought that was cute. Like,
No, that is adorable.
so random.
I don't have apple juice. I have grape juice. It's been fermented
grape
and turned
juice.
into wine. All right. Spotify. We are at 195 ratings. Seriously, so close to that 200 goal. Now, those assholes over at the Cyberpunk Lorecast, they have 196 ratings. So they're in the lead. Damn. Oh, that's even more funny tonight. And of course, we have to give special shout outs and huge love, major thank yous to Toastie and Apollo, Becky and Daddy Bat Night, Stone Miss Theos and Muffiny Cake, Win, Evie from HR, and Magister Davida.
Yes, thank you so much. So much. Can't wait to see you guys next week at the patron chat. Okay,
Ooh,
Jen.
do we have
sorry.
who's in the lead right now? Because it was a pretty tight race between the two topics. So make sure that you're voting.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, vote. If you haven't voted for the topic for next week, vote. And we'll find out. I'll check. I always change the little post on Thursday, the day before. So I'll find out which one won on Thursday. Make sure you get your vote in by Thursday. Okay, Jen, are you ready for the romance to get real? You ready to find another Jen and make another last wish?
Oh, yeah.
3.
Said you were gonna go on 3.
I did. Look, we must search the area.
Yen, not so fast. Gotta tell me what this is about first. Why do you want this Jinn?
But you already know. A Jinn's power is priceless to a mage.
That I know, but I also want to know how you plan to use it. Wouldn't go to these lengths if it wasn't something important.
You're right. It's important. Even very important. How long has this been going on, Geralt? This thing between us? 15, 20 years? We repeatedly split up, then return to one another. Something draws us to each other, but I can never be certain if it's a true feeling or merely a bit of mischief by a Jinn.
So that's it? This is about my last wish?
You asked that Jinn to bind us together forever. I want to ask this one to take that wish back.
I get it. You want to know what'll happen if magic no longer binds us.
I want to know if when the Jinn's magic is gone, if we've any magic left of our own.
I love that. And fair question, but first and foremost, I love the symbolism of the setting of this scene. They are teleported, like Yen teleports them to the top of a snowy mountain. This mountaintop setting is visually striking, symbolizing the lofty and precarious nature of their relationship currently. This stark, icy environment mirrors the emotional stakes and the tension between them right now. So he's, momentarily disoriented. He says all the time that he hates teleporting. And this sudden shift in location reflects Yennefer's impulsive and forceful nature and also underscores the high stakes of this quest, both in terms of physical danger and emotional risk. And the emotional risk is high. She's willing to face potentially devastating truths to understand the true nature of her feelings, showing her emotional courage. She's just a brave, brave bitch. So they subdue the Jinn. Yen makes her wish, and just like that, the magic binding them together for 2 decades almost fades away like footprints in the snow. Does their love last? What if they actually don't love each other?
I thought you'd become a stranger to me, that I'd look at you and not feel a thing. But it's not like that at all. Nothing's changed.
Jinn might have cheated us after all.
Why?
'Cause I don't feel that anything's changed either. I love you, Yen.
And I love you.
Geralt, my name is Jen, not Yen. They sigh. A girl can dream. I love the way he says it here so much. Obviously, you can tell Yen that you don't feel the same way here. If you decide to romance Triss, or you're hoping to romance Shawnee later on, or just simply don't want to romance Yen, ¿por qué? Yo no sé. We talked a little bit about this in the Triss episode, about how mature Triss has become, and how well she takes Geralt getting back together with Yen. And I mean, she should, because technically Triss kind of manipulated and moved in on Geralt when he wasn't even aware to the circumstances due to the amnesia that he was in love with Yennefer. Regardless. Not just like in love with her, but like living together as a family multiple times throughout the decades. I mean, with some interruptions here and there, but don't be a homewrecker, Triss. So Triss starts off needing to ask for some forgiveness, honestly, in order to deserve a place with Geralt. Even if you pick Yennefer, though, upon getting back to Kaer Morhen, Yen will still throw Geralt's bed out the window in a very clear statement on how she feels about Geralt and Triss's past situationship.
Heard about the bed. Really prefer to sleep on the floor? Wouldn't recommend it. That stone can get awfully chilly.
Frankly, I prefer a chill to bedding littered with red hair.
Ah, so it is about Triss.
Yes, it's about our dear darling Triss. Geralt, I don't want to seem like a vindictive shrew, but that very bed is where you just happened to fuck a dear friend of mine. Yes, I know, you'd lost your memory. Whatever. Let us agree that I will refrain from scolding you while you will stop mentioning that stupid bed. Agreed?
Agreed.
Splendid. On to more pressing matters.
I literally laughed. Like when she's like, yeah, I know you had amnesia, whatever. Like it's so accurate. That's how I've always felt too. Like, yes, yeah, and it was so great to hear her say that. And you hear like genuine hurt too, because Triss is supposed to be her best friend, as she says. Like, I don't even know how Yen can look at Triss at this point. Like, I like Triss's character development in this game. And if you do choose to romance her, I think it's earned because Geralt chooses her because he remembers everything. So that's fine. But as far as Triss and Yennefer's relationship, I don't think they're salvaging that. Like, you literally steal my man, and then you're going to be like, I'm still big sis to your daughter, though. No, bitch, try me. No, thank you. Okay, that's not happening. But this scene, and there's other references to her throwing out the bed. I loved it when Vesemir was like, no, not the good oak bed. Um, this is funny, right? It's as funny as the image of her angrily tossing the solid oak frame bed out the window of Kaer Morhen. It's also rather immature of such a powerful sorceress, right? You may even find this an ugly stain on her character, depending on how you feel about jealousy. That's what it is. She's jealous. Despite her formidable power and confidence, Yennefer is not immune to feelings of jealousy. Her jealousy towards Triss highlights her emotional depth and vulnerability, though. It reveals her fear of losing Geralt, a man she deeply loves, to someone who has also been significant in his life. We've all probably felt the sting of jealousy in the context of a relationship before, so this humanizes Yennefer to us. We can't relate to her on a magical level. Not many of us can relate to her on an intellectual level, but we know this feeling.
Yeah. I may or may not have burned a hoodie that I found out a boyfriend's ex had constantly worn. So I kind of relate. Hmm. The tension between Yennefer and Triss is palpable in several interactions throughout the game. Yennefer often exhibits a cold or dismissive attitude towards Triss, masking her underlying jealousy and insecurity. One of the most telling moments is at Kaer Morhen when Yennefer and Triss must work together to aid Ciri. The underlying tension between them due to their feelings for Geralt adds a layer of complexity to their cooperation. This tension becomes especially evident if Geralt has been romantically involved with both women. Yennefer's jealousy towards Triss underscores themes of love and loyalty that are central to the game. Her feelings are not just about rivalry. but also about the deep, abiding love that she has for Geralt and the fear of being replaced or forgotten. Another thing many of us can surely relate to.
Yeah, for real. Like I get this for sure. And in the game, people around Geralt will comment that he's henpecked or whipped, other dumb words to describe a man that seeks to please his woman. Of course, sometimes this gets taken too far. Someone's too bossy or whatnot and abuses the push-pull dynamic inherent in any close relationship. But I don't see that happening to Geralt and Yennefer. If anything, Yennefer doesn't let Geralt help enough, often putting herself in harm's way just to do it herself. As the player, you're playing as Geralt. It seems obvious how much Geralt loves Yennefer. The chemistry between the two is complex, passionate, and deeply rooted in their shared history and emotional bond. We talk about this all the time. We love having established relationships. Well, here you go. This is one. It's been established for a long time. Their interactions throughout the game reflect a delicious blend of love, tension, mutual respect, and unresolved conflicts. In short, a real relationship. They're a mix of professional coordination and personal concern, highlighting their ability to seamlessly blend their personal and professional lives. But sometimes mixing work with pleasure leads to miscommunication.
All right, what did I do this time?
No, nothing. I just wanted to take you aside, without cluing the others into what we're up to.
Mm-hmm. And what are we up to?
Sneaking upstairs to make love.
Wow, you don't exactly mince words.
I'm too old to play the blushing bride. Unless you ask nicely. Shall we go? You can rejoin them afterwards. In an hour. Or 2.
Or 3.
I'll hold you to that.
Damn, Yen. Why you gotta do me like this? I talked earlier about how the ultimate show of masculinity to me is being able to pick up your partner off the ground and hold them by the back of the legs. But there is such a show of feminine strength and ownership of your sexuality by being able to strut into a room with a blanket wrapped around you and proudly and defiantly shucking it to the ground, leaving all of your skin exposed. That is a sign of a woman who owns and loves her body. I stand before you proud, Geralt. What are you going to do with it? Geralt then picks up Yen in what can be called the bridal carry. Her arms around his neck, one arm hooked under her knees, and the other supporting her back. Did I mention she's still naked? He then takes her to a pallet on the ground because fuck that bed, it doesn't belong here. I then get to chuckle at the fact that it's interspersed with a pack of wolves hunting down a deer as random cutaway scenes. So thanks for spoiling the moment, but also playing into the metaphor. The white wolf is always on the prowl. This scene is passionate, but it really does just look like two people in love, making love, while the Witcher 3 theme music plays in the background.
It's giving Dragon Age Origins fire sex. I mean, at least they have the
Yeah.
unicorn scene.
Oh god. I don't think we got a BioWare crawl out of it though. There was no body
Bummer.
crawl. It was the rolling though. We got the rolls for sure.
They're like, we had sex in the back of a unicorn and you want a body crawl? Have we not served? Anyway, yes, it's great. Love that. I also really love the power dynamics in this relationship. It's as good as it gets, in my opinion. Both are strong, independent individuals with powerful abilities. Their relationship is marked by a balance of power and mutual reliance, with each recognizing and respecting the other's strengths. That is key. Let me repeat that. This is ideal. They both recognize and respect each other's strengths. I love that. And they demonstrate that constantly in this game. After all they've been, they deserve a happy ending. Depending on your choices, of course, they can get one.
Liking Toussaint so far?
The landscape's lovely and the towns are charming, no question about that.
But
But the southern sun plays havoc with my wardrobe. To be blunt, wear black down here and you're pretty damn hot.
might need to think about changing your color palette. Off-white and pea green, for instance.
And I'll wear scents distilled from turnips and daisies. I think I shall simply stay in the shade. And you'll bring me cool drinks. At regular intervals.
Bring you whatever you want. You know, feels kinda strange having a home.
I must say I never pictured you owning real estate.
Was something of an accident, but I'm not about to complain. Yen, back then, before we fought the hunt, said you wanted to run away with me to the world's end. This vineyard, good enough?
Yes, although there's one thing missing.
Namely,
I shall give you a hint. It's large, white, has 4 legs, category taxidermy.
oh yeah, the unicorn. Fine, you can bring it down here.
I knew you'd see things my way.
If we had the time, I would have loved to have played the entire interaction that Yen and Geralt have at the end of this expansion pack because it is so good. They have verbal wordplay back and forth and talk about their history together and about how they were trapped in a place together, and that's where it started. Verbal barbs to keep the boredom at bay. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with you. Don't ever change. And I'm just like, this is why. This is the reason why. I love the fact that they are both so strong and independent. I've said this many, many times before, but I hate the trope of, you complete me. No, I'm sorry. I am my own fully independent person. I need my partner to make me even better. I don't need you to make me whole. And that's what Yen and Geralt are. To get standing alone, they can survive. But together, they thrive. And that is my favorite romance trope.
Yeah, it's like they strengthen one another, you know? They don't complete, they strengthen. It's perfection. Like this just I mean, Yennefer has some therapy she probably needs to learn how to be more vulnerable overall, but she does quite a good job of it with Geralt on very rare occasions. But it's really the way Geralt treats Yennefer, because I mean, Yennefer treats him just fine, I think. I think she has a hard time letting people in on her plans, and that makes people stressed out. But that's something I wanted to bring up too. Is like there's many times in the game Or Geralt comes to her and he's like, hey, you're not telling anyone what you're doing, and we need to know so we can help you. And it's making us uncomfortable or whatever. Like, he is so on it with her, and he is open and vulnerable in a way that is so strange to see for Geralt. But he is with her. Like, it's just a magical union. And it's, for me, very hard to turn Yennefer down for Triss, because it's like, how can I do that? Even though I know there are problems with the fated mates trope of like, oh, we're bound together through destiny or magic or some kind of thing. It's very common in fantasy stories. And it can be really compelling and fun to read, but it takes consent away. And I think that's why I like this romance so much in this game, is because they both, I mean, Yen really, and she instigates it, but they both are like, yeah, let's actually take that wish back and see what's left. And then once again, it's Geralt, you as a player, choosing to stay with Yen, or you can break up with her, which, gosh, I didn't even watch that scene if you say no, because that would make me too sad. She's like, I love you. And you're like, pass. No, thank you. That'd be horrible. But actually, that was another part that I loved about this, is the fact that Geralt, like, fully, presently, direct eye contact says I love you to her. And I wish, honestly, for Trissmancers that they had that, because all you get is like a whispered I love you when she has already walked away. And I don't think that's very fair. Once again, the game's really like, romance Yennefer. Yennefer's the chosen one. And yeah, she is. It's true. But like, I would like, in my professional opinion as a co-host of this podcast, I think romances should have equal emotional payoff and content, and that's definitely not the case in this game. I mean, Jen's never had 2 breakdowns in one episode, so we can, you know what I mean? Like, they clearly, which episode? I don't think so. Have you had one?
Astarion for starters.
Oh, Astarion. Well, there, he's got the most romance content also in that game. So like, we just need closer to like equal levels of content for the characters, I think would be more fair. But I actually did want to briefly mention in my final thoughts, the final, like, the themes of this relationship are love and sacrifice, obviously. Like, they both sacrifice stuff, they put themselves in danger for each other, which serves to show their level of commitment, the depth of their commitment. Love that. Perfect. So many examples. Conflict and resolution. That's just a natural dynamic for them. They have strong personalities. They've got past misunderstandings. They've got frequent clashes, but they work through them and they come out stronger every time, showing their resilient bond, but also, I think, showing a healthy relationship. I think that's a really unique thing that we do not see in video game romances a lot, is conflict resolution. And also, this one we do see a little bit more, but I still think this is such a strong example, is independence and interdependence. Obviously, we've said it, they're both very independent characters, but their romance doesn't diminish their individual strengths or goals, but instead emphasizes a healthy balance of independence and interdependence, because that's innately a part of any relationship. You have to rely on someone. Otherwise, why are they there? Like, you rely on them for emotional support, maybe financial support, whatever, but there needs to be a healthy balance. So they have a healthy balance. They support each other without losing their personal identities. And that's why I am all for Yen. Like, Witcher 1, Shawnee. Witcher 2, single. Witcher 3, Yennefer. Okay? And we have someone who has been like nodding along this entire time, and they need to come on and tell us how much they love Yennefer. So this is where we would normally end. But tonight we have a very, very special guest.
We do have a very, very special guest. My co-host of the Cyberpunk Lorecast and also co-host of the Witcher Lorecast. My original beast mode. United through Yennefer. Toastie.
You know, it's got to be the nicest setup for like an introduction that V's done for me. And I realize it's because she talked a lot of shit at the end of the last episode with Triss. And so she's trying to butter me up in hopes that I forget it. and I'm not going to, but I'm not here to fight tonight. Well, I'm here to fight for my woman, but yeah.
But also, you gotta butter the toast.
Yeah, I made that joke on purpose.
Oh, okay. You know what? Like, first original thing, like we always like to ask, we talked a lot about these two. Was there anything at all that you learned? Any new information we provided that you didn't already know?
I mean, y'all were very, very good, very in depth. But I probably not. I've been doing I've been doing this a long time. I've been obsessed with Yennefer for a long time. So, but y'all did great. Y'all did great though.
Maybe her voice actor was in Star Wars Battlefront and you didn't know that? Or did
I
you know that too?
probably didn't. No, I don't think I knew that actually. Yeah, that's fair. I didn't know that she was in Andor. I haven't watched Andor yet. It's been on the list, but I might have to expedite it now. So
For sure.
She's like a
V, you
main
watch.
character.
hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Well, like a main side character, if you could call that. She's not like a lead, but she's so close. She's so much on the show. I love her character in that show. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, I will be sure to expedite that watch now.
All right. Big question. Are there any key factors that we missed that would have brought more depth to this romance?
Key factors that would have brought more depth. I mean, probably not. There's a few. Well, actually, there's quite a bit because you can't go into the entirety of what 8 novels at this point. 9 maybe next year because it sounds like he's coming out with a new book. But I mean, honestly, I think that the Witcher 3 does quite a good job at like giving you a lot of insight into what we learn about Geralt and Yennefer from the books without having to like do a full recap of it, you know. But of course, yeah, there's so much history between that from book 1, and we watched, you know, the entire story with, you know, Yennefer and Geralt, Yennefer and Ciri. So yeah, there's a lot there.
All right. Why Yen instead of Triss?
Oh, I I don't even know if I can tell you the main reason that like Yin stuck out to me in the first place. Like me playing so long ago, because you know, that was back in 2015, 2016, something like that. First time playing the game. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the fact that like, you know, we get to see her first. I mean, the tutorial involves like getting to see them being together, which we come to later find out doesn't, like, she was never at Kaer Morhen, or at least not at that point in the story. But like after reading the books and you know, playing through more of like, you know, all the games, um you just, you do get that. And I do have some strong opinions about the fated mates thing, but uh you know, getting to see the entire like story and how much history, and like even like putting kind of Geralt to the side, just seeing the relationship that Yennefer has with Ciri, like, you know, she is her mother, but she's also her mentor and like taught her how to use, you know, the importance of magic. And I know Trissa had some play into that, but I can't tell you how much this gives me the ick to her, to Triss calling Ciri her little sister, and also being a romance option seems a little weird to me. This isn't Game of Thrones. We're not Targaryens here.
Yeah, because if Geralt is daddy, you shouldn't be romancing little sister.
Or big sister in
Big
that case.
sister,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's just something about the thought of like if they had like a situation where they were in a family setting, that means that Triss left Geralt's bed after having how much coitus the night before to go check on Ciri, like, good morning, little sister. That bothers me to no end. The thought of that is freaky. Yeah, no.
Ew, yeah, no. Yeah, I don't like that.
But no, it's just
Also,
like, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, we didn't even talk about it, like when Ciri comes back to Kaer Morhen and like everyone's welcoming her and Yen sees her for the first time, and it's like the most, you would have never guessed that Yen could have made that sound. Like she was just like Ciri and like sprints down the stairs and hugs her, and it's like the cutest thing ever. Like I
Yeah,
loved that so much.
that's one of my favorite moments in the game, because it's like, because I think she like leaps into her arms, like she's so happy to see Ciri again for the first time after, because you think she hasn't seen her daughter in, God, how old is Ciri even at this point? Much older, like 5 to 10 years, something like that. I can't remember the exact timeline, but like, oh, so it's just everything, the combination, the family unit that they are, is just so, I mean, this is the most badass family in existence, I think. You know, we got probably the most powerful sorceress on the continent at this point, our top witcher, and the lady of space and time, their daughter.
Yeah. And then I mean adding in the extended family, the School of the Wolf pretty much adopted Ciri as one of their own. Um yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just a beautiful family to look at. Oh, I guess I should probably say, since I mentioned that or whatever. Actually, I don't know. I can't remember what y'all's questions are. Maybe this will get answered by a different question, so maybe I shouldn't say it yet. Oh,
Oh no.
we lost a co-host. Oh no.
Oh no.
Welcome back to the Cyberpunk Lorecast. No, I'm kidding.
Welcome back, Tooms, to another episode of the Cyberpunk Lorecast. I'm your girl Genesis, and with me, as always, is Toastie. We're here to talk about the tales of V and all the crazy shenanigans they get up to.
Hopefully things are fixed. V, are you good?
No, V never gets fixed, unfortunately, even if we pick the wrong
I'm more
ending.
concerned about our current V and not the video game one. Well, I guess this one's a video game V too. It's hard to say. Hello,
Okay,
Bravada.
so one of the questions that we do like to ask now is there anything about this romance that you would change?
So, that's a hard one to say because it's kind of a yes or no. Um, no, because I think that it is kind of uh it's the way it's told, I think, is kind of perfect. Because like the way y'all talk, y'all talked about it right there towards the end before I popped in here. About like just the dynamic that they have, and you don't get that dynamic without the full, everything that has happened to them thus far, which kind of, that's like the biggest like success of this relationship, is the fact that like they are both very much equals, and the like how much respect and care they have for each other, and that they challenge each other and make each other into better people. And it's not, two halves making a whole. They're, they don't need each other. And I think that does kind of get into the yes part. Is I wish that there was, because it is a theory in a sense of what the last wish is, because in like the the story, we don't actually know what Geralt wished for. All
Mhm.
we know is that what he wished for saved Yennefer's life and made the Jinn unable to kill her. But it's kept like a secret for a reason, because it's kind of, they want you to kind of decide for yourself. And they kept it true in the Netflix show as well, where like we see Geralt whispering under his breath, but we don't actually hear what he says. So we don't know what it is. And again, because we don't, it's just a theory, but I'm under the belief that it doesn't actually, like, it ties their destinies together. Yes, because the theme of destiny is a very big thing in the Witcher story. It's very important, Geralt's destiny with Ciri, his destiny with Yennefer. But I don't think any part of it requires the romantic level that like we see between the two. I don't believe that Geralt wished for her to love him or for them to be like partners or whatever. And the story of the video games, and of course you have to separate that from the books, because it's, uh, it doesn't, just because they're in the games doesn't mean that they have any truth held to the books. But we're here to talk about the video games, so that's kind of what matters here. Is that because in 1 and 2 Geralt doesn't feel compelled and to seek out Yennefer for whatever reason, and regardless of amnesia or not, if it was something that where destiny compelled him to do it, he would have done it anyways, even if he didn't know why. Because that's the point. Destiny doesn't wait for you to acknowledge it. Destiny just acts. And then we find out in The Witcher 3, they do the quest and for the last wish, and they ask the Jinn to revoke the wish, and nothing changes. And I think that's important to point out that it didn't actually affect their feelings for each other. They were in love with each other. And yes, you have the option to tell her no if you want to romance Triss, which I think is just a very poor excuse to give the player the option to pick someone else. Because, you want to give people choice in these games, and that's understandable. But the whole story, Triss doesn't actually really matter to Geralt that much. Yes, they had a thing, but the games make Triss important. She's never actually that important in any other thing. And again, like the wish, they get rid of the wish and it doesn't change it. She still loves him. And if you're going this route, he still loves her. And the last wish didn't affect that at all. So what the relationship that formed was, two adults realizing their feelings and like overcoming all of the challenges that they face together and becoming a family with each other and Ciri.
Yeah. Oh, that just touches my heart. And that's why the relationship between Geralt and Yen, I'm very, very happy that they didn't try to play that scene where, like, nothing changed, if they had said like, "Ooh, I do feel a little bit different. Maybe there isn't as strong of a bond between us," that would have made it feel very awkward and very wrong. But the fact that they're like, "No, our love is the exact same that it was 20 minutes ago than it is right now in this moment." And I think that deepens it and makes it even more than it was before. Because now they know for certain it's not the Jinn that bound us. It's actual love. Yay. Are you back now, honey?
Yeah, I joined with Safari, which for whatever reason is working today. I don't know what happened to Google. But, like I was using Chrome like I always do, and all of a sudden it was just everyone was so choppy, and I didn't think to turn up my Twitch on my phone to like hear your audio, but it would get picked up by my mic, so it wouldn't have really worked if I spoke. But yeah, sorry, I'm back now. Now it's perfect. I can hear you guys just fine.
Yay.
I'm sorry you missed my full thing just now.
I'm gonna hear it. I'm gonna hear it when I edit the episode.
Okay.
But yeah, I know Yuri Cat was like, he's saying some profound things. I'm like, no, I'm missing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, there's an answer to that question, a very long answer to that question.
I actually don't even think that, I mean, the last question is, do you feel like we did this romance justice? But I think you kind of answered that one as well. We did a damn good job. There's just a whole lot that you cover on your own podcast that explains the true, real backstory of everything that happens in the books that we could not talk about today.
I mean, we haven't even gone like a full dive into like that whole thing. There's just so much. I mean, there's so much to talk about in The Witcher. But I guess we'll have to do it soon enough to do an actual Yennefer and Triss episode ourselves. Though that'll just be more more from a like, I guess, informational standpoint. When it comes to the dynamics of relationship, I leave that to y'all. Y'all are much better at that than I am.
You handle the lore aspects of The Witcher. We handle the ladies of The Witcher.
Yeah. Which, shout out the ladies of The Witcher. They're all so badass. As much as I don't like Triss as a romance option, and I have my very strong problems with certain things that she did, I will never doubt or refute that she is still a badass, and very deserving and a powerful sorceress, especially considering her age, because she's stupid young for a sorceress and she's incredibly powerful. So but when it comes to my choice, Yennefer will always be number one. So
For damn sure. No, Triss earns her monikers and her title, and her power is her own. She's a badass in her own right. She's just not the best, in my opinion, for the romance option for Geralt. I'm gonna throw a random one at you. If there was a male character in the game that you wish Geralt could romance, who would it be?
can I say any other option besides Dandelion?
I mean,
Dijkstra.
no.
Hell no.
I knew that would be a strong reaction.
Yeah. Fuck Dijkstra. He's like slightly
No,
better
don't
than
fuck
Amir, and that's
Dijkstra.
it. Yeah, exactly. That's true. I think we've done. We did a fuck Mary Kill episode for a patron chat that involved like random ass shit, and I know Dijkstra was an option. Somebody asked about like the worst of the worst.
I
I
think it was
mean,
Dijkstra, Stregobor, and maybe Emir.
it was
Some
It was Dijkstra, Radovid, and Amir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Male object. I'm trying to think of an answer that's not Dandelion. It'd be a weird one, but maybe Avalon.
Okay, I
Mm.
was thinking Avlok too, actually.
I mean, you know,
I mean, that could be like Siri's second dad.
What would you like?
I just what
And you're Siri.
Okay, I said that could be Siri's second dad, and then my Siri activated was just like, "What would you like to know about Daddy?" Because I have Alex Wilton Reagan as my Siri voice.
For a moment, I heard the voice and I thought it was Yennefer's voice for a second. I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh,
No,
wait,
it's
and the
Samantha
weirdest thing,
Trainer.
but also Alt Cunningham. And now we've brought it full circle back to Cyberpunk.
of
Yeah.
course, as we do.
Like, oh, Cunningham randomly being like, "What would you like to know about Daddy?" just really jarred me.
I will state there's two things that I feel like would have really added to the whole story overall. One is my favorite compliment of "You smell really good." Geralt, we're at a funeral. You smell really good at this funeral. It's just such a funny line. Just, I mean, and yes, I got my lilac and gooseberries candle burning. It smells incredible, so I can kind of understand why Geralt is in love with her. I would fall in love with a woman if she smelled like that when I walked into a room. Also, just a shout out to Geralt, Lambert, and Escul getting completely shit faced and putting on Yennefer's clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
When
good
you
one.
ask what the boys do, that's what the boys do.
Yeah, that's what that's what the boys up at 3 a.m. looking for Yennefer's clothes. But no, I am fully aware she's definitely not I don't think she's even the favorite choice, honestly, when it comes to The Witcher 3. But I think that there's just so much more depth there between, her and Geralt's, and all of the trials and tribulations that they've gone through. But she is every man's worst nightmare, a strong-willed woman. And that is going to scare a lot of people because, the dominantly male played game here. So I can see the issues there. Hey, maybe just get a little bit more security in yourself and you'll realize how fucking great she is. Yeah.
You know what?
I got strong opinions.
You do. You have strong opinions and a strong feminism streak, and that's why we love you on this show. Yeah. And I
But
think,
yet, okay.
but yet what?
But yet it is incredibly toxic if you push her too hard in that one scene that she transports you to fall into the middle of a lake. And I will acknowledge that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. She does have a few downsides. She does also, if you do pick Triss, she's pretty bitchy about it. She does not like it at all. Um, I was not a fan of her being the bigger woman and saying, "I'll give you two a moment alone." Walks 5 feet away and glares at Triss and Geralt, trying to have a personal moment. And then the second that Geralt leans in to kiss Triss, she goes, "No, it's time to go meet the rest of the people."
It does suck, but I think as toxic of behavior that is, I honestly think that she's incredibly valid because she's a multiple 100-year-old woman who's who's chosen, depending on what story you're following. In this situation, I'm gonna assume never been vulnerable with anyone, much less a man, in her entire life, was trained and taught to be cold perfection, because that is what a sorceress is, and especially in a male-run society, when it came to magic wielders, at least where she was, brought up, and still managed to learn how to be her own terrifying, powerful woman, even amongst all of these toxic ass men. And the one man that she chose to be vulnerable with, who they've had a strong relationship and family with for 20 years or however long, uh decided to pick your far more shallow, ditzy best friend. um I think she's valid in being a little toxic and a jealousy, and I will not falter for it at all. I support women's wrongs.
Well, also, like, we expect her to just get over it right away. Like, there needs to be a mourning period. It's a breakup, essentially, when you choose Triss. So she is allowed her feelings. I have definitely said and done some things in a breakup that I wouldn't do normally, but I'm in a heightened emotional state. So I can only imagine what being a magic wielder would cause me to do.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we could talk about women's rights and women's wrongs for several more hours, but we do need to wrap it up here for the night, though. Toasty, want to shout out your things?
I mean, they were both mentioned at some point during this episode. We do the Witcher Lorecast and the Cyberpunk Lorecast. So yeah, check those out. Go give 4 more ratings to the Cyberpunk Lorecast so that we can leave the girls in the dust.
That's right. These damn bitches at the Two Girls One Ship podcast, they're going down.
I said nothing.
I feel attacked.
See, but I call me and Toasty assholes each week in the mid break of the girls, and then I call the girls bitches on the Cyberpunk Lorecast because, yeah, I don't know. It's funny to me. I don't know why.
I
Hey, that's our word. Yeah,
I
that's how
I
it
don't.
feels.
And you know what? I felt attacked when you told me you knew where I live, even though you don't.
I
Last
don't. It
week.
was
So
an
there you
attack.
go. There's the retaliation.
Yeah, it was an attack, and I meant zero of it because I'm all bark, no bite.
I was like, I don't even know where Toasty lives, and I've known him a lot longer.
I am a chihuahua barking at wind. Please ignore me.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I think I have nothing else to add on that. So if you like what you are hearing, please be sure to leave a review on iTunes or on Spotify and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can now find me on the Cyberpunk Lorecast with my co-host Toasty, where we explore the foundations of the past, the state of Night City today, and the news of the future for all things cyberpunk. Make sure you check out Scyther Audio's newest fan-made production, where you can hear me and several of our podcasting friends, the Avengers, the audio drama. You can also reach me on our Two Girls One Ship channel on the Robots Radio Discord, and come give us a follow on all the social medias and on patreon.com/Two Girls One Ship. Our theme music was composed by the ever-talented Pipeman Studios, and our artwork was designed by the esteemed Let's Not. Links are in the description.
I am also on the Robots Radio Discord and on our own Two Girls One Ship Discord server where we nerd out on all our favorite CGI significant others. Be sure to check out our live streams if you aren't currently on Twitch on Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Our podcast episodes release on Mondays or Sundays if you're a Patreon subscriber. Because you need at least one good thing on a Monday.
And while you're out there,
Stay safe on the path.
He's like, I think. I don't say this every week. What?
thanks for listening. And remember,
Beauty is in the eye of the controller. But pick Yennefer.
oh my god. Okay, it's
It's an
damn.
hour and a half. Yeah.
I know.
I knew it'd be long.
It's gonna
There's a lot
take a
to
minute
say.
for me to edit that one.
A long romance.
Caught in a long romance.
Yes, of course the game wants you to pick Yennefer because you're supposed to.
Yeah, because you're supposed to.
It's
There's
Geralt's
no other
true love.
choice.
He doesn't care about Triss enough to fucking pick her for the rest of
It's
time.
called the illusion of choice. I think that's why you get punished by Yen if you choose anyone else, and then also you don't get as much content because the game is like, why would you do that? We told you which one you were supposed to pick, and you didn't, so now you get nothing.
Yeah, no, you were while you were having your internet issues, I was talking about like the my perception of what the last wish is and how it doesn't actually do anything to like make them love each other. And that the last wish quest is just a very poor lore reason to give you the option to pick Triss if you want to. But like you read the books, it's not Triss, it's Yennefer, and it's always gonna be Yennefer. That's Geralt's opinion. It's not mine. That's his.
Interesting when we do our Shawnee episode because I've romanced Shawnee before. I know I didn't do it in my first playthrough, but I was like, oh, wait a minute. I remember her from the first game, and I romanced her in the first game. I want to know if that continues on and what that's like. So I have romanced Shawnee before. I don't think that I have ever romanced Triss in Witcher 3.
Well, see, like I think regardless of anything, because it's hard to remember. It's been a while, but it's like it doesn't really matter whether you romance Shawnee or not. I think it's kind of like they expect you to do so, but it doesn't actually lead anywhere really. Like that's a like a reconnecting for this time, but like that's not gonna affect your end game really.
Oh, so you can romance her, like have a one night with her and then still end the game with Yennefer?
I might be wrong, maybe just because I haven't like perceived, but like you don't get Shawnee in your house in Toussaint at the end. Like that's not an option. You're not gonna get like a cut scene with Shawnee. Like you can romance her in Hearts of Stone, but like that's it. Like I think you're kind of expected to, like, because it's Geralt, he's gonna fuck anything. But like I don't like I think that it is a brief reconnection just to split apart again.
Okay.
I'll have to like replay it or watch
Watch
some
the vids.
YouTube stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I had to go to
I have
fucking
bad news.
Pornhub again.
What's your bad news?
Bad news is I just lost my audio because of Audacity's update. Like I Control Z'd too many times and then it disappeared, and then I was like, how do I get it back? And it X'd it out, and then I did redo, but it didn't do anything, and now it's just gone, and I don't know why, because I've Control Z'd a million times in Audacity and it doesn't delete your audio. But something about this new update, like it let me go all the way back to like as if I had just opened Audacity, and it won't redo. So now, and of course my audio was fucked for a while, so that's great. I have no idea what to do about that, but that's great. Love that. I hate you, Audacity. Why do you update every single week? I feel like I've literally, for what, 2.5 years now, used Control Z. I've never had that happen in my entire life. I have no idea what just happened. So I don't know if I think it's gone because it didn't do the restore thing where it crashes and didn't do that.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't do anything. It's like I didn't record at all.
Why I'm a Control C, Control V girl.
Well, I was
Never
trying
use
to because
C.
I was Control Zing because I applied an effect. I was trying to compress my audio before I amplified it again because it kept changing the stupid recording levels as it does. And I've always compressed it, but then like the compressed settings were totally changed because of this massive update. So I was going to Control Z to do it again, and then it just disappeared. My audio just
Try
disappeared.
Y.
I don't know.
No. Try Control Y.
I did. It didn't do anything.
Fuck. All right.
And
Well,
then
sorry,
I
babe.
closed it because I was like, restore audio, right? Like if it crashes. And then it's like, I opened it and it's like, oh, you can only recover it when it's, or like you can redo, but you have to go to the manual redo which is in a menu that I've never used. I just Googled it. I wish I Googled it before I closed it because I might have been able to, I don't know. That sucks. I don't know how this happened because like I was just doing things I've done for the past 2.5 years in it, and it's never
Okay.
done that before.
Well, if
It says you can do Control Y if you Google, but it didn't work for me.
okay. If anything, and you hate the way that your glitchy moments sound, you can just re-record it and add it in.
Yeah, I have to figure it out.
Yay! 2 girls, 1 technical difficulty.
Hey, Bravada and I didn't fight. On the good news
No, if
side of things, I
anything, you
guess.
guys agreed a whole shit ton throughout the episode. And then I love how
Bravada was
you
spitting. I was just over here in the background, like, yes.
I also love how you both legitimately like slunk down and got off camera whenever I was doing my scene breakdowns. I
It wasn't
noticed
just.
that.
It wasn't the scene, but it was the audio, the first set of audio, and I was like, damn, I don't remember her talking like this.
Oh, yeah. Yen has a voice too. Like I heard the dip in the voice when she was talking to him. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah.
Oh, they kill it. They absolutely kill it. Shout out Doug Cockle.
Oh yeah. Who,
Yeah,
if
no
you
offense
guys
to
want to hear an interview
Oh,
of,
sorry.
Toastie did an interview with him. It was so good.
This is my favorite episode of the Witcher Lorecast, and nothing will ever exceed it ever. I don't think, unless I do another interview with them. Who knows?
Or Henry Cavill.
That's true. That's true. I do. Man, we should reach out to. I remember that like Bane got a response from the voice actor of Dandelion, and then just didn't get a second response back from him ever, which was like, damn. But like, this is a moment. We should reach out to. Is it Goff? Denise Goff? Go?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's spelled a little differently. Gauh.
She's Irish. It's Goff.
Should reach out to Denise Goff. Get an interview with Denise Goff. Let's see.
I will freaking fangirl if that happens. I love her so much.
She's on a Disney Star Wars show though. I don't know. That might be a little bit out of my range.
We want Jennifer Hale, and if we could get Alex, that would be so amazing. Like I would want her for Cyberpunk so bad. Alt Cunningham.
Oh, okay. Would love to get Shrami Lee.
Oh, female V.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Set the intention, put it out in the universe. I mean, we've accomplished some big things. And
We do need to get a guest on Cyberpunk though. Like for real, for real. It's been a while, and it's been like I think the only guests we've had are our Talsarian people.
yeah. Yeah. We have not had anybody from the game yet. I really want the dude that did Mr. Hands.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun. Or maybe,
Lucy. Yes.
I would die. I would die just a little bit.
I mean, Keanu wouldn't be bad. Let's get him on the show.
Oh, that would be lofty. Henry Cavill's my lofty goal for Witcher that's never gonna happen. So, it's getting Keanu would be crazy. I'd quit. I should be like, you know what? That's it. I think that's the last episode, Jen. We can call it.
You can't get one bigger. Yeah.
We just
Shit.
have him end it by saying "Good night, samurai." It's just in the podcast.
Oh. Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to end this stream. So, who's left in chat? Just Yuri. Night, Yuri. Love you. See you in, dear God, just a couple months. I'm excited. Yeah. Oh, and Toastie will be my hostage, and I'm going to bring him along to karaoke.
Nice. That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be really rough.
It's all right. I won't force you to sing, unless it's Fall Out Boy.
So it's still good luck. I don't like singing.
We do private rooms at a karaoke club, and all it does is like, especially because I got the big party room for the Saturday night of RetroCon. And so it's got like a photo booth in there, and there's like 3 booths and 2 additional tables. And a big dance floor. So it's a big room. So there's lots of space to kind of like just sit in a corner if you don't want to sing and watch everybody else sing instead. And there's always somebody up on the mic. You don't have to get up if you don't want to. But it's really cool. It's fun.
I'm gonna be. Oh God, I'm gonna try my hardest to be as least introverted as possible, but I know I'm gonna fail epically. I'll be so overwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot
Your
of people.
extrovert friends will be there, and a majority of them you will know. So
That's fair. I still need to buy my plane ticket. It's losing power for a week in your city puts a big setback on things.
yeah.
Yeah, especially all of my podcasts too.
Oh, okay. All right. Good night, chat. We love you. Goodbye.